Word on the street. Word on the street. Word on the street. Look at that blue sky.
Good morning, Babs. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you? Good morning.
We got some visitors to our city who, like you, enjoy cultural events at night.
Yay!
In Delaware. And last night we came to an organ recital. So what's
I can't hear you too well, Paul. Speak up closer.
Recital. Can you hear us now?
Oh yeah, now I can hear you. Yes.
So how was it last night? What's the word on the street?
Very, very special because the young man who played the recital in Woolsey Hall, this is his last master's recital. I started him on organ in Texas when he was like 10 years old.
10 years old?
Yeah.
So did he come to Yale as well as people gets to go for free because he's such an amazing musician?
Well, he's not 10 years old now. He's in his 20s.
What I meant is he goes to Yale School of Music?
Yes. I don't know. We're meeting, he and his brand new bride, for brunch in about an hour. So
where are you going?
Poppies.
Okay, you know what I'm interested in?
What?
So Yale School of Music,
yes.
A bunch of years ago, some wealthy person gave them so much money that everyone could go for free.
I'll ask.
So all of a sudden,
I don't know that answer.
They got the best musicians in the world.
Well,
so it sounds like you trained one of the most amazing musicians.
That recital last night was pretty amazing.
What was his name? What's his name?
Nico, Nico, Cholker, TJOELKER.
And tell me how you started to train him in what town in Texas?
It was in Bryan, Texas.
BRYN?
BRYAN. And I was at the music director at a church that his family was part of. And we discovered that he had a talent for music. And so he was really interested in the organ. So I started him. And
wow.
Meanwhile, his family moved to Australia. He studied in Sydney. He studied in Europe. And he's finishing up his master's right now here. So it's pretty exciting.
So what church was it?
It was First Presbyterian Church in Bryan, Texas.
And how did you know he was talented? He wasn't playing the organ yet. Was he singing well?
He was in my children's choir. And I discovered if I sat down and played something on the piano, even though he'd never had piano lessons, he could sit down and play the same thing. And we thought, this guy is talented.
Like both hands.
Yeah. He'd just do it. And we discovered he had perfect pitch, and he was interested in the organ, and so we started him on organ, and he never looked back.
And how many years did you have him in Texas before he left Australia?
About 3 years.
And those were the formative years.
Well, I like to think so.
Were you the organ teacher?
I was the organist at the church, and so I taught organ, and I didn't have a lot of students, but
it's a great story.
And he's obviously the most talented student I ever had.
And would he come once a week after school, Sunday?
Yeah, he came once a week. And he'd come to practice too. His dad was supervising his practice, so his dad would kind of walk around the church while he practiced.
And what kind of kid was he then? Was he antsy? Could he sit down calmly at a piano?
Oh yeah, he's a very quiet, studious. He's a very serious kid. Yeah.
And when you were teaching him, did you say to yourself, I got a prodigy?
Well, yeah, I mean, I knew he was very talented to that, and of course he's so gifted. He could have gone into anything. He could have gone. I mean, his dad is an environmental scientist. He could have gone that direction. He could have, but he chose to go to organ, and he's amazing, and he's going to be amazing. I can't wait to keep following his career.
So it's 12 years later.
Yeah.
And you were still in touch with him.
Yes.
So he was there for only 3 years, very important years in his life.
Right.
Did you every year stay in touch? Like how did this happen?
Well, I've served with his parents too, so I kept in touch. Well, and as all bad things you would say about parents, I'll say, keep up with people. So yeah. So
how did you find out about this performance, and why did you come?
Well, I knew about this performance. He played a recital in December, and unfortunately, I was not able to come to that one. And then he got married in January. So my husband and I came up for their wedding in January. That was lovely, right here at Trinity on the Green. And then I had this recital was coming up. I knew, and I really wanted to make it because his parents couldn't come to this one because they're in Australia, and they came for the wedding in January. They're going to come for his graduation in May. So coming for this too was like.
So you were representing.
Well, kind of, yeah. His mother and I have been in touch.
So last night, what did he play?
He played a Reinberger Sonata, and then some Hubert Perry, psalm settings, and ended with a Franz Liszt piece that was when I was in school. years ago at University of Michigan, the doctoral students would like to play this piece that's called Ad Nos, and for short, ADNOS. It's got a longer name, but that's the short
So
name.
it sounds like I know
Process.
nothing about this.
It's really hard. It was like the doctoral students would all want to play it, and it was like the hardest piece ever. So here he played it on his master's recital, played it last night. It's like a half an hour long, and it's just
And how'd he do?
stunning, amazing. I mean, he made it look so easy. And that organ in Wolsey Hall is just from the loudest trumpets and principals to the softest strings in Celeste. And there's even a harp stop that he used. So he just showed off all the different types and colors of
And
the
they
organ.
just put a lot of money into Woolsey too.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So how did you feel sitting there when he played this? What was
Kind of
your
like, I
mind?
can't believe I started this game. You know, I mean, what a privilege for me.
Now, I know
Very
nothing
proud
about
of
the
it.
music,
Right.
but it sounds like one of the three pieces he played has a religious psalms to it, right?
You know, a lot of music for organ, because organs tend to be in churches, a lot of the music is religiously based. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
do you still teach at the church?
No, I don't. Well, I'm not in Texas anymore. I retired and I moved to Delaware to be near my grandkids.
Where in Delaware?
Middletown.
Because I spent a lot of time in Wilmington because my wife was there.
Oh, okay. Well, I play at a lot of churches in Wilmington. I substitute, so I'm playing someplace different practically every week.
And when did you last teach?
Well, I actually just got a request from an adult to ask to give her some lessons. So maybe now.
But how long ago did you retire?
I retired in 2014.
Ever have another student like Neo?
No, and I won't.
So how do you feel this morning after all that? You feel life has
Oh.
done something special?
Yeah, great. And I'm delighted that we're going to meet them for brunch and have a chance to talk a little more and find out what's next, you know, for them.
At
So,
Popeyes.
Poppies.
Poppies. Poppies on
P-O-P-P-Y.
Whitney Avenue.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
And what are you doing first? You gonna go to the Apple Store?
We want to buy a Yale T-shirt. We're walking down here to.
Or?
I got to get Yale T-shirts for my grandkids.
Have you
I
been to
can
New
tell you
Haven
where you
before?
could get some bootleg ones.
Have you been to New Haven before?
I was here in January for
For the wedding. Yeah.
Right.
Babs, any questions?
Oh, welcome to our city. Are you enjoying it? Does it feel walkable to you?
We're enjoying walking around. It's great. Thank you.
All right. Well, Babs, we're going to say goodbye on Love Babs Loves Talk, WNHH New Haven's home.
Thank you.
Community radio.
Wow. I forgot that there was a concert going on because there's somebody else. There's a young man who was running the Yale Underground Jazz, the Yale Undergraduate Jazz Collective, and I believe he's got a recital coming up. I hope I didn't miss it because I wanted to pop in and see him. Now I got to go back and look.